Anthony Hartwig here with a Struthers Wildcats girls basketball player profile. I am joined by Chloe Neider. Chloe, thank you so much for taking the time to join us today.
Thank you.
This is a Struthers team that we know has been right there the last couple seasons trying to compete in the NA8, has come really close to beating some teams. You beat Poland once last year, but this year seems a little different. You take Poland to the very edge at Poland in your first meeting with them. You still have another meeting with them. You had South Range twice in the NA8 this year still. What are some things that you think are different this year on this team that give you that edge, competitiveness? We'll start with that.
I think that we have a lot of heart, and we're a pretty small team, and so we don't have a lot of height, but we got some girls that really work hard, show up, do what they got to do, and I think that's what really puts us up there.
What has it taken this year to have everybody, not just you, but everybody on this team kind of buy into that philosophy and buy into that effort and really put it together night in and night out?
I think that, well, we do a lot of team bonding, so we're all really close. We all have fun at practice, and us seniors kind of talk to the underclassmen and everyone else, say, like, this is what we want to do, blah, 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 and they respect us and look up to us, so they kind of just follow our lead.
You've been a mainstay on this Struthers team for a while. Everyone kind of knows your name by now, but this year is your year to be a senior leaders. And what has been some of the responsibilities you put on yourself this year that have been different than the last couple of years to be even more of a leader to this team?
Overall, I think that since I've been playing since I was like a freshman up on varsity, I never really had like a voice. I always kind of had to just like follow along with the seniors. And so this year I feel like I'm actually like able to speak up, and if someone's not doing what they're doing, like I'll put them in check. And I just think that me actually like being older now and able to like communicate better with everyone else, that I think that really helped me be a leader this year.
Do you think as you've gone on, your confidence to speak has gone up? Like you've been more vocal as your career's gone on?
Yes, I do, and also having like the varsity experience, I kind of like understand what some of the underclassmen are going through. So like our junior Emma Morris, she's been playing JV, so when varsity is kind of a big change. So like I'm able to relate to them. I'm able to help them through like this and that, and like also help them with like the physical training because it is a big physical difference.
Now let's take you back and flash behind the freshman year real quick, because like you said, you kind of started right on the varsity level. There was no JV cushion. You had to go from middle school to varsity. What was that kind of like for you to be exposed to the varsity level almost as soon as you stepped on the high school floor?
It hasn't. It really wasn't that big of adjustment. The main thing was just like the physicalness, because like I was what 14 or whatever, and they're all like 18, 17 up there, so it was just very much more physical than 8th grade. And also it was like wasn't as easy to score, wasn't as easy as that, so I was kind of just like one of those players to pass the ball good, see the floor, and get it to Emily Elia at the time. But definitely, like the strength training really helped me be able to play at that level at that age.
Seniors have a tendency to get real reflective on their careers. So when you look back on yourself, back as a freshman, what do you think are the biggest changes you've made, not just on the court, but kind of in your personality from freshman year to now?
Definitely like my mindset on things. My dad being my coach, it was kind of like a lot of hate from other people. So like as a freshman, I like would have breakdowns all the time. Like I'd be so upset that people were saying like, "Oh, you're only playing because of this," blah blah blah. And so I think I've really grown like mentally, and I think that's actually helped me like excel on the court because I'm able to deal with that, and I don't have like those crazy breakdowns anymore.
And you gave us a great segue to ask about your dad being the coach and what that dynamic is like between you and him, and what it's like to have him as a coach and be able to help you even when you're off the floor. When you get back home, you can talk about games. You and your, at home, you can talk about the film studies and stuff like that. So what's that like for you to almost have a coach 24/7 that you can go to if you need it?
I personally love it. There are some bad times where, like, say we tough loss or whatever, me and him are kind of just like stay away for a little bit. But I love it because always have access to the gym. Like if I want to get in, I can text in the group chat like, "Hey, one who wants to get in?" And also, I'm able to like give him my opinion on certain things, and he takes that into consideration and being able to pull up the film on the TV and do all that. So it's actually pretty cool.
Do you think having him as a coach in your life has helped you be a vocal leader on this team and kind of learn what that means, what it means to be a vocal leader, what it means to kind of be a second coach on the floor?
Yes, he's definitely taught me really everything I know because when we were going through all that, he kind of went through it with me. So like he was able to like teach me those lessons that I was able to pass on to like our younger kids now. So it helped me learn that.
We ask a lot of players this about their coaches, but I think you'll give us even better answers because you live with them. What are some things about the coach that we don't get to see on the sidelines that you think that people should know about Coach Neider?
Um, he's actually a very calm guy. He has a lot of patience, but the one thing he hates the most is if we are not putting in our best effort, it's over. So like at practice or so, like say like people are slacking off, like they're immediately hitting the stairs or they're immediately sitting out on the sideline, and he doesn't like take that. Like he doesn't care if like you shoot a shot, you miss. Like if you keep going, keep working hard, then that's all he cares about. But mainly just that.
Obviously, with coaching in your genes, the question is, do you see yourself as a possible coach down the line? Do you think you could coach at the basketball level if you chose to?
Yes, I actually like I'm thinking as my season's like going down, um, I really like want to get involved. Like we actually us seniors in our we all help with like the little kids. So I helped coach the 5th grade, I believe. Yeah, in like their little tournament things, and so that's definitely something I want to do when I'm older.
The season is winding down, as you said, which means it gets closer and closer to being your last game. How have you handled the emotions that senior year can bring, knowing that every time you step on that floor at the field house, it's one of your last times doing it? You know, it's your last time with the first game. All these lasts that senior years bring. How have you handled the emotions of that?
It's definitely very like it hurts a little bit, but it kind of like I don't know. It's like very it's like the worst feeling in the world, but like also it kind of like encourages you to like actually really like I this game counts. Like every single game feels like it counts even more per se. It's just it kind of makes you just like want to do everything you possibly can.
All right, so we're about halfway through the season. What are some goals that you set for yourself personally before the season started? And now that we are halfway through, how do you think you've done at meeting some of those goals that you've set?
Some of the goals I've set is I wanted to be like over 90% free throws, which I don't think I'm at that right now, but free throws are like pretty crucial to me because I love driving, I love getting in the paint. I'm working on that, but that was one of my goals, and also to be a good leader for my underclassmen and that I did kind of do good with that because over the off season I'd bring everyone to lifting. We'd do that, go straight to open gym, and like there were times where like our coach can't like do stuff at open gym, so then I would just like run everything, and it was kind of I just like making an impact on all of them.
So when you set a goal that says like I want to be a leader and I want to be a better leader, who are some people that you've looked at in the past at Struthers and seniors that you've had that have really kind of helped you show you what that leadership is supposed to be and show you what that means to be a leader?
Um, uh, I would say, well, I've been around for a while, so I was able to see all the seniors graduate. So, like, when I was a little kid, I was always running around the field house, and I always looked up to McKenna Shives. I don't know if you know her, but McKenna Shives, she was a great leader on the court, and I always wanted to be her. While I was in high school, I really looked up to Emma Elia and also, what's her name? Kaylee Schaefer.
Those are great girls to look up to. When you look at the rest of the season and some of the things that you guys as a team want to accomplish, and obviously you have team goals as well. But since it's a brand new year and we're just a week in 2023, what do you think are some New Year's resolutions for Struthers girls basketball?
Um, Take care of the basketball is our biggest one that we kind of stress. Working on being smarter, making smarter passes because a big chunk of our turnovers are mainly just like not throwing the ball at the right time, not being accurate. um, but taking care of the basketball and definitely also um, what's the word? Um, I can't even think. Like running everything correctly, like doing like remembering the plays because we also struggle with that. So
All right, so we got to ask you about playing in the field house. It's probably one of the most historic and well-known gyms in the area. You guys get to call it home. What's it like to have that as a home gym and to be able to, see some other teams come in and be a little bit dazzled that they get to play in that atmosphere and then you get to every night?
I think the field house is amazing. It kind of makes me like thankful for what we have because it's ginormous. Like it's amazing to actually play in. One negative is we only have those four hoops where like Poland and them can like move those bleachers back and have like all that. But like for games, it's just amazing to see all that fill up, and it's really amazing.
All right, so we've also been told, and we have experienced it as well. The concession stands at the field house is the best. Obviously, can't get concessions while you're playing, but I'm sure you've been to a boys' game one or two. What's
Yes.
your favorite concession snack at the stands at the field house?
My favorite concession stand snack is definitely the walking tacos and like the Sour Patch straws.
Nice. Okay. When you look at kind of like we said, senior year, which means future. So when you look at the future, what are some future goals that you have for yourself? Where do you see yourself in the next 4 or 5 years?
Well, I'm gonna be attending YSU and I'm majoring in biology pre-med, and so like I'm trying to work to become just a pediatrician. I'm not playing basketball, sadly, but I do want to get involved with all the rec programs and also looking into coaching or like assisting or being a volunteer.
You've had that track of pre-med and being a pediatrician, it seems like for a while. So what was there a life, kind of thing that made you attracted to being a pediatrician, or is it something that you've always wanted to do? How do you kind of fall into that being a goal?
I was really never interested in anything like in school, like language arts and all of that, and so like I really like fell in love with like learning about the human body. I don't know what it was, but and just I love kids. I like babysit all the time, and I love just watching people grow up, like my cousin and all that. So that's mainly how.
It couldn't have been an easy decision to decide that basketball in the future at the college level wasn't the best decision for you. What were some of the factors that went into making that decision and some of the conversations that you had that made you realize that wasn't in the plan for the future?
I was always back and forth. My one goal when I was little was always to play college basketball, and so like it was kind of hard. Like as I grew older, had to start thinking about the future. So like I ended up deciding that like I realized like I've talked with coaches, like it's like a full time job, blah blah blah. But I just decided that for like I can't focus on a lot of things at one time, if that makes sense. So like doing school, and I go to YSU in this high school now, finishing that off, and so like balancing basketball and that and studying, it's actually very challenging to do all that. So I just thought that it'd be better for me if I'm able to just focus on my career, do that, and still be able to be around basketball, but like not as like a job.
Did did the experience of taking the college classes now while you're playing varsity basketball kind of give you that reality that this is what it's going to be like and it's kind of not what I want in my future, or did you make that decision before you started to make college classes?
I junior year was kind of when I was like, I don't think I'm going to play. I'm still like to this day like going back and forth. Like, do I want to? Do I not want to? Um, but yeah, it kind of just put me in like a realization that like I can't just not study anymore. It's not that easy. So just putting in all that time, it's hard to find a place like through work and all that. Like it's hard to be able to do all that while playing basketball.
That being said, I guess our final question for you today is, knowing that this year will be it for your competitive basketball career, how much more special has that made the time that you have with this team and the time that you have on the floor?
It's actually made it very special. It kind of makes me like it drives me to like want to get as far as we can, do the best we can to like make our senior group feel complete or make this senior year feel good because if we didn't say everyone slacked off, we didn't make it far, blah blah blah. I feel like I would always feel regret because basketball like is a big part of my life. So I feel like I would like regret it and like I'd feel like I'd take the blame for all of that. And so it's made it really special knowing it's all of our last year.
All right, Chloe, before we let you go, I want to give you the chance to thank your support system, give them all a shout out and all the people that have been there for you throughout the years.
I just want to thank my dad most especially, or most of all, because he's actually been my coach, my dad, my entire life. Also, Coach Dubeck, he was my 7th and 8th grade coach. He kind of taught me and set me in place whenever I slacked off and all that. Um, my mom for also being there for me and my dad when we did a big loss. Um, and also the rest of my coaching staff coaching me this year because without them, we wouldn't be the team we are today.
All right, Chloe, thank you so much for taking the time to join us. Good luck the rest of the year. We wish you the best of luck. We'll be covering you. We can't wait to see what you're able to do, and we'll talk to you again real soon.
Okay, thank you for having me.